Welcome to day one of our 30-day daily movement challenge. You don't need anything for this today other than yourself and your mat. Okay, so we're going to begin today with a session to reawaken or re-energize our hips. All right, so for anybody who has to sit for a lot of the day, perhaps with your job, or maybe you're driving a lot, this is really essential that we stretch out these hips, that we get the blood flowing here again, make sure that we have good mobility through our hips and some good strength. Okay, so this session is going to help us get prepared for that. So come down onto your mat. We'll come to standing position, right? So from the center of your mat, spread your toes nice and wide, come into your neutral stance. Take a second to tune in here. Remember, sense where the hollow of your pelvis is. Is it tilted forward, spilling? Is it spilling back? Or is it upright toward the ceiling? That's where we want it, okay? So take a second to sense that, and then can you sense the hollow of your rib cage and sit that directly over the hollow of your pelvis. If you've locked your knees, soften those with a micro bend, relax your shoulders, drop your chin towards your chest a little. All right, so with that being said, we're going to begin by just loosening up the hips with some dynamic stretches. Balancing on the left leg, stabilize through your center, focus your gaze on something straight ahead, and we'll begin to swing this right leg. So try to allow that leg to swing as freely as you can in your hip joint, becoming aware of any restrictions, or of course if there's any pain or anything here in your back or your hip, then reduce the movement until there is no pain. And we're going to change direction, swinging it across in front. Our arms will move in the opposite direction for counterbalance. And then we'll return that foot to the floor and we'll go on the other side. All right, so anchor down through your right leg, stabilize through your center, soften your gaze or focus on something straight ahead. Swinging that left leg forward and back. Allow it to move as freely as you can. Of course, if you need to lean against a wall or a chair or something for this, if you're not feeling very steady today, that's no problem, right? You just go ahead and do what you need to do today. Now change direction, swinging in front, arms moving in the opposite direction to your leg. Two more of those. And then we'll place that foot back down to the floor. All right, let's come down onto our knees. So here in this high kneeling position, we're going to lunge the right leg forwards, okay? Back toes are curled under, pubic bone toward the chin, hollow of the pelvis directed straight up toward the ceiling, and the hollow of the rib cage lined up with that. As we do that, we just sink our hips forwards, feeling that stretch here in the front of the left hip. I'll move this way so that you can have a look from this angle. So we're gliding forward and back. Now, if you're noticing any pain in your joints, then you might need to limit the range a little bit, to reduce the range a little bit, or even just scoot your foot a little bit further forwards, and that might help you to reduce any pain in your knee or ankle. But if you have good range there, if you can manage it, you can always bring your foot in a little bit and help get a little bit more range through your ankle joint as well by allowing the knee to come a little bit further forwards. Okay, now gliding back with the front leg toward a straight position. You can bend it here if you need to. Lean against a chair or a wall if you need to as well. Now flex that foot. So toes towards your shin, and we're going to rotate inwards and outwards from the hip here. Rotate the leg in and out. In and out. That's it. And that's just one more, and we can switch it. Left leg forwards. Gliding forward and back. We're keeping as close to a neutral spine as possible. Practically all of our movements that we'll do will be through a neutral spine. So not rounding the back, just keeping the spine in its natural curvature. Glide forward, glide back. Feel that lovely stretch in the front of the right hip. Okay, then straightening that front leg, just to your own ability. Internal rotation, external rotation. Moving from your hip and just noticing, becoming aware of things like, is there more range of motion in this leg than there was in the other one, or in this direction in comparison to this direction? Little things like that, getting to know your body. Bending your knee. Okay, staying up here in high kneeling. You might need a cushion either side of you now to raise the floor up a little bit. Reach your arms up. Again, become aware here. What range of motion do you have at your shoulders? Do you feel your chest thrusting forwards once you bring your arms up? If so, leave them a little bit lower, all right? And become, let's say, familiar with your own body, and it's where it is at any given day, really. So you're staying tuned in. Observant. Now feel this stretch all the way in to the left hip, the left side. Notice how you're breathing. I want to be able to breathe through each phase of the movement so that we're not holding our breath. Last one now. All right, now we're coming down onto our hands and knees. For cat to camel, hands directly under your shoulders, knees directly under your hips. Take a breath in to prepare, and on your exhale, round your spine like a frightened cat, pubic bone and chin toward each other. On your inhale, shoulders glide down away from your ears, lift up through your chest. On your exhale, rounding like a frightened cat. Inhale, looking up. But keeping that length through the back of the neck. And last one. Coming back into a neutral spine. Now from here we're going to just loosen up these shoulders a little bit. So we take the right arm out to the side in line with your shoulder, sweep it underneath your chest for thread the needle, glide the shoulder gently down away from the ear and send the breath into your upper back, around your shoulder blades. On your next breath, press down through that left hand, withdraw the right arm, continue the rotation of the chest to the right. And then replace that right hand to the floor. Let's switch to the left. Reach the left arm out and then sweep it underneath your chest. Gently guide the shoulder down away from the ear. Maybe you can bring the right arm up. Maybe that's too much for you. And then pressing the right hand into the floor, withdraw the left, continue the rotation of the chest to the right. Bring that hand back down. Now glide your shoulders away from your ear. Find neutral spine again, right? So that's the hollow of the pelvis lined up with the hollow of the rib cage. Pubic bone is towards your chin. Breathing in to prepare. On your exhale, stabilize through your center. So feel that activation of the abdominal muscles. And then keeping the knee bent at 90 degrees, start to raise that right foot up toward the ceiling. Again, maintaining stability through the pelvis. And push that foot, press it up against the ceiling. Feel that work here in the glute and the back of that right leg. Keep pressing. Exhale to press, press, press and press. Push, push, push and push. For 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. Well done. Gently return that knee under the hip and then take that leg out to the side and back in again. Extend it out and in. As you do that, move with control. See if you can keep your pelvis level, stable, and just work within a range that is challenging but manageable. Don't go too fast. 2 more. And then slowly, gently bring that knee back in under the hip. Take a breath. On your exhale, stabilize through your center again. And let's go to the left. So we're keeping the knee bent at 90 degrees and pushing that foot up toward the ceiling. Now feel that in your glute and in your hamstring as you push. Press, press, and press. Keep going. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well done. Bring that knee back in under the hip. Take a breath. On your exhale now, extend that left leg out to the left, leading from the knee, but keeping the knee at 90 degrees. That's it. Keeping the pubic bone toward the chin, keeping the hollow of the pelvis lined up with the rib cage. Moving slow and steady. Exhaling on the exertion. Inhale to return. 2 more. And then bring it back in. Well done. So from here, we're going to curl our toes under, come up into downward dog. We lift our hips, push our hips up to the sky, relax the heels toward the floor. Then we're straightening our back first, shoulder blades separated. And we might just do some alternating knee bends. Lifting one heel as we lower the other one. And then relaxing both heels toward the floor. Take a breath. On your exhale, raise both heels, leave the left foot on the floor. Raise the right leg, lift the right fingers, or lift up onto the right fingertips, and lunge that right leg forward up beside the right hand. Now from here, we're doing some twists. So we bring our shoulders up, let the hips sink forwards. Okay, so with your right hand to the inside of your right knee, raise your left arm up to shoulder height. Rotate your chest out to the left. Right arm pressing gently against the knee, knee pressing against the hand, and then rotate back in. Switch the hands, left one to the outside of the right knee. Raise the right arm and rotate your chest to the right. Sweep it back in. Lovely. Switch. Legs. Sink your hips forwards. And we begin. Left hand to the inside of the left knee. Raise the right arm. Rotate your chest as you exhale out to the right. Feel that lovely stretch. Down into your groin. Over to the other side now. And into the front of that hip. Gently back around. All right. From here, come back to high kneeling. Step your right leg forwards, scooch it over to the left. We're coming down for pigeon. Little stretch, then we're done. Now remember, we don't want to hang over to either side here, but we want to center our hips. Extend the left leg all the way back. Maybe you're going to need to stay up onto your hands here now. This could be enough of a stretch already. If you're feeling very flexible though, you can come down onto your elbows. So remember, your stretch should always feel fabulous. Basically, it should feel like you want to stay here. It should feel nourishing. If you're feeling like you really can't wait to get out of it, then you've gone too far. You need to back off a little bit. So bring in your awareness down into your right hip. Send your breath there. Become aware of any gripping, any holding or tension, and see if there is any room or potential for softening. For releasing, letting go. For sinking a little bit deeper toward the floor. And then on your exhale, extend back up onto your hands, curl your back toes under, lift your knee and switch legs. Bring the left foot forwards, but over toward the right. So into this position for pigeon, extend your right leg all the way back, and then sense, do you need to stay up onto your hands or can you come down onto your elbows? Do you want to support your head? Then tune into your body. Use your breath. All your attention down to that left hip now. And just inviting some softness there. Just allow yourself to enjoy the last few seconds now of your daily movement challenge. And on your next breath, extend back up onto your hands, curl the back toes under, step back, come back up into downward dog. Relax your heels, take a breath. And on your next exhale, lift both heels, bend your knees, step the right foot forward, then the left foot forwards, and come all the way up. Well done. So you have completed your day 1 daily movement challenge. I hope you enjoyed it, and I really look forward to seeing you for day 2. Well done. Bye-bye.